Hey y'all, I just got off of work. I don't usually make videos. I don't think I ever have made a video right after I've gotten off of work. I mean, possibly, but as you can see, the cough is still there. I have made appointments with the pulmonologist and with a, allergist doctor in Charleston. So in July, I'll be having those appointments that will hopefully help me a lot. I think one of the big problems, if you're new to my channel, you may not know, I do suffer from some medical conditions. I'm not sure what they are. I've just been exploring and trying to find the right answers for why I get sick so often, why I experience throat swelling, hoarseness, and coughing. I cough a lot. Yes, I sure do. And I hate it, but it's just kind of part of who I am right now. And thankfully there are people that have majored in this type of help, and hopefully they can help me. So, yeah, I just want to let you know that is going to be happening. I'm not technically currently sick, but still having a lot of symptoms. Also, if you're new, my name is Jenny. This video is about bullying in the classroom. I think it's a really important video to get out. I am a preschool teacher, so I'll go into that in a minute. This channel, though, is about my journey of turning my life around, starting over. It feels like a big turnaround, I'll tell you that right now. 8 months ago or so, about 8 months ago, or 7 months ago, I was in a toxic relationship. It was not a healthy relationship for me, so I decided to step outside of it, and this is my story of starting over. I talk about my job, obviously like my career, just the economy, shopping, starting over, what that has been like, my room, and just other topics involving relationships and dating and whatnot. Just a complete lifestyle channel, and I vlog in my car. So in a nutshell, that's me. But anyway, I'm thankful you're here. If you're watching this, know that you are a part of my channel, part of my heart. I really, truly appreciate whoever you are, that you are sitting there right now and watching me. I think that's incredible. I mean, I just got off work. I have mascara probably running all the way down my face. I used to edit my videos. These videos are not edited. They are just based off of complete real life situations. So the person that wanted me to make this video, I believe, does want to be anonymous. I did get a tip on making this video. Somebody reached out to me, and I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, that would be a really great topic to talk about, because I didn't realize what an issue it was until I started to teach preschool. And when I started to teach preschool, my perspective on a lot of things changed. Before I start giving advice and talking about all this, I want to say a couple of things really quick. I know I've said them before, but it's really good to reiterate. I always have new people watch my channel, and so I just want to brush up on what I can and can't do. I will not give out the name of my school that I work for. I will definitely not give out the address or any personal information. I cannot talk about my managers, and I will not give the names of any of the children in my classroom for protection of their privacy. With all that being said, I do feel comfortable talking about my experience as a whole as a teacher. Some certain situations that I think could benefit other people and other teachers that they may be having in their classrooms. Talking about art and literature and math, and some ways in which I may choose to teach, or I may choose to handle certain behaviors. I'm happy to share that with you. This is my own personal experience. I ask you to please consider that this is a private preschool environment. This is not an at-home daycare. This is not a nanny situation. I have 16 children with my co-teacher that I'm in charge of, that I love. I hate saying I'm in charge of. They're my babies, and I tell them that, I think as much as it is important to teach children and to have structure, it's also so important to remind your children that they are loved, that they are safe, and that, you would do anything in the world for them. And I try to do that on a daily basis. I try to always remember that, even on hard days. Again, I apologize about my voice. There's very little I can do about being hoarse. So if you see the title of this video, you're going to see that it says bullying in the classroom. And there are several points I want to make about this. I know you're like, okay, so I teach 3-year-olds, 3 to 4-year-olds. They start off being 3. I have a couple that are 2 or were 2. I have one that's 2 now. And but most of them are 3 to 4-year-old range. And they are learning everything. They are learning the proper way to communicate. They talk so much. When I was their age, I was in a different environment. I did not go to preschool. I talked really late. I don't think I was half as smart as half of these kids. When I tell you they are intelligent, I'm sorry, I gotta wipe my nose. It blows my mind. Every day. I'm like, how did you know that? How can you do that? How did you think about that? The ways in which they observe, how they help me. It just blows my mind. They're amazing. And my purpose in making this video is not to put them down or say that children are bad or say that children intentionally mean to be cruel to each other at that age. But I started noticing in my classroom that my children were saying words, and I'll give you a couple example of when there are words. They started to call each other names sometimes. One would be something like poo-poo head. I can't remember all the names. I try to block them out. They usually were related to poop, and I'm not sure why. That's just one of the words that they gravitated towards. Or calling each other like silly, or I did have a couple of children call another child princess, not in a good way, in that situation. And other words. I would have the children come to me and tell me, so-and-so called me this. They did not like it. I started off, when it first started happening, with, correcting my children. Saying, we don't say things like that. That's not okay. We do not say things like that. And then I realized I needed to really address it, because it started to go around like rampant wildfire, where kids were like calling each other things in the bathroom, and it was being reported more that my children were coming to me. I was called this, I didn't like it, and it was too much. I didn't feel like, so this is an important point to make. I don't personally feel like 3-year-olds intentionally mean to hurt each other. I think sometimes behavioral issues at that age are based off of wanting attention, sometimes from your teacher or from the other person that's getting upset. They just like the fact they're getting, that it's annoying them. They're just like, that they're getting a reaction. They also seem to really, I'm trying to think, just other than like calling each other names, I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I kind of like lost my train of thought for a second. That'll happen when you're doing a live video with no editing, where I wish I could cut that out. I'm trying to get back to what I was saying. Let me get back. They don't mean, in my opinion, to hurt each other. They are trying to learn to communicate. And a lot of the times I've realized they don't understand how to handle certain situations differently. Sometimes I was focusing too much time on correcting them, on saying, no, that's wrong. But then I stepped back and I realized, but we need to teach them what is right. We need to explain to them why it's wrong. Because all too often, I think that we see them as children, and they are children. However, we're just like, we want to dance around and walk on eggshells and not explain things and not go into detail because we think they're too young. Listen, I don't know if this is just a new generation of children. I'm not sure what is going on. but the level in which my children communicate, write, listen, are able to understand is above and beyond anything I've ever seen before. I didn't think it was possible. And so we have talks. Sometimes my children and I have serious talks about if there's an issue going on in the classroom, if a teacher is going to be away for a little while, we will sit down and we will discuss that. So I prepare them, because I tell them I never want them to be scared. I never want them to be confused. So I'm going to tell them, I'm going to relay to them in a way they can understand what's going on, and they can ask me questions if they have questions, so that nobody is like worried when it happens. With the name calling, I decided to sit them down. My co-teacher and I sat them down, and we talked about the fact that, bullying, being mean to someone, just to be mean to them, just to call them something, hurt the other person's heart. It made them sad. And we didn't want to make each other sad, right? I asked them that, and they said, no, we don't want to do that. So I explained to them, there are words that are okay to call each other. There are words that are okay. And then there are words that are not okay. And there's a difference. I do role playing with them. I give them examples. I, took two of my children and I was like, if so-and-so called you a mean word, and I'd use something as an example, something maybe they used that day or that was being reported, how would that make your heart feel? And they would say mad or sad, or I wouldn't like it. I said, well, if you choose to call so-and-so that name, they're going to feel the same way. It's not okay. It's not tolerated. We are not going to do that to each other in this classroom. No toleration of it. However, there are other words we can say that make each other's heart feel strong. We can say empowering words. We can say, you are beautiful. You are kind. You have a great smile. You have a cool t-shirt. You have great hair. I love your earrings. We can usually love and like and, words that make each other smile and feel lit up and feel happy. I did the same role-playing exercise with them, where they were on the carpet with me, and I had them go around and practice saying nice things to each other. And then I would ask the other person that received the nice compliment, how does that make you feel? And they would say, it makes me feel so good. And that you could tell their face just, you see how bright that is? It lit up like that. They were just like, makes me feel happy. They were able to say that. And I noticed when the person said, it makes me feel happy, the other person giving the compliment, it made them feel happy too. They realized it was just an exchange. They just had a very positive exchange with each other. And in realizing this, they do it more. I cannot tell you how many compliments happen in my classroom after we have practiced this. They compliment the teachers. They compliment each other. I hear on a daily basis them tell each other, you are beautiful. You are strong. I like your shoes. I like your shirt. I don't even say anything to cause that to happen. They just compliment each other. Now, do I hear occasionally that they call each other names? Yes, I do. Occasionally. And I continue to tell them that that is not okay. It is not allowed in the classroom. And I am not happy when I hear that. 3-year-olds, at least my 3-year-olds that I take care of, try very hard to make me proud of them. They want that. They do have very strong emotions. And I always have to step back and tell myself, though they may have a complicated curriculum, though they may be receiving, really, advice about really big topics, they are still children. They are still 3, and I give them grace all day long for that. because you're learning and you're growing and you're discovering and you're experiencing when you're 3. And I don't want the whole day to be about correction. I do not think that my children sit back and intentionally mean to, bully each other or call each other names again, to be cruel or to gang up on each other for all these, like, having all these ulterior motives of doing it. Does that make sense? I don't think that they have the mental capacity yet to be able to bully in the way that people bully in high school. People that are older or middle school or elementary school. I know it starts in elementary school. I was bullied. I was bullied horrifically. It's not funny. I'm laughing because I can identify with how horrific it is. I take it very seriously. I know people that are bullied take their lives. I know people that are bullied go home and want to die. They don't want to go to school. I remember being 13 years old and telling my mom, crying, telling her I'd rather die than go back to class. I mean, that could be a whole video in and of itself. Because I sympathize, my heart aches for anyone or their children that are experiencing being alienated or bullied or shamed or judged for being who they are for any reason. We shouldn't do that. We should be a world of support and kindness and care for each other. I wish it wasn't a thing, but I know that it is. It's not something we can sweep under the rug and deny. I will say this, and I know I'm going to have people that disagree with me, but this is my channel, and this is my perspective. You don't have to agree with me to listen to me or be here. You can go to another channel as well. I'm not making you be here, but I will tell you the truth, and I will always bring you the truth, my truth. Bullying probably starts young. It starts there, with children testing the waters of what does this do? What does this cause? What reaction is this? I do think it is imperative that you handle it in your classroom. I would not laugh it off. I would not say, oh, they're just being kids. They may be being kids, but that does not mean that other children in your classroom are not being victimized by what they are saying to them. Because it was clear to me, even though I don't think that my children meant for it to hurt the way it did, that when they were calling someone a name, it was affecting that other child. They were coming to me, or they were crying, or they were just obviously affected. And I just decided there's no toleration. We are going to call it bullying for what it is. We are going to call it absolutely not tolerated. They are going to understand that there is consequences if they continue to do it. But they're also going to understand that I am going to motivate them and be very positive and very happy when they're kind to each other. They need to see that reinforcement of a different behavior, of that reaction. And they need to see how their friend responds to it. I want them to see the person light up. I want them to get that kind of attention and that kind of behavior in return, and realize it's okay to want attention from someone. But let's make sure we ask for it in a gentle way, in a kind way, so that we get a good response. And I think that they got it. I mean, I really truly believe, I know this for sure, they compliment each other. They compliment us every day. I hear it from different children complimenting each other. We practiced it a lot. We did it we still talk about it. We still have refreshers, is what I call them, where I ask them, what are positive, empowering words to call each other? And they'll raise their hands and tell me. We'll review it, and then I'll hear more of it during the day of them complimenting each other. It's okay to do that. You're not failing as a teacher if you're trying to implement something in your classroom and you feel like it's going south. You're like, this isn't working. Do it every day. Don't make it an option. You can make it fun. You can make it relatable. You can word it in a way that a 3 or 4-year-old can understand it. But try not to sweep stuff under the rug. Try not to be their friend. I love my children. I can't express how much that I do. Truly, each and every one of them. They have strong personalities. I'm proud of them. We've come so far, sorry about that light, together. And they brought so much light to my life. But they need structure, and they need a teacher. They need guidance. They need that from you if you're a teacher. It's great to love on your kids, but understand that if you want them to respect you and to follow you, there has to be a level of you stand above them. There has to be a level of separation. You know, there's certain things I will and will not do in my classroom to help them to always understand that I am their teacher. I am not, their friend from down the street that's going to ride bikes with them after school. I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn so you can see me. Let me turn this a little bit. Because none of that is okay. It's not professional, in my opinion, and it's not what they need. They have friends. Be a role model in their life. Be strong. Be assertive. If you tell them something, keep your word, no matter what it is. Because they're looking to you to see if they can trust you. The relationship with your students in your classroom is just that. It's a relationship. Cherish it. Be true to them. And at the end of the day, they will trust you for it. They will come to you. They will ask your advice. And they will also understand that there are certain things that you don't tolerate. And if that sounds strict, I respect that. But I also respect that I know my position and how many children I take care of at one time. We have, again, a curriculum and a classroom. This is not at home. This is not babysitting. This is, again, a private preschool. And so there has to be a certain level of organization and understanding and love. You have to balance it. And I'm honored and I'm thankful to have the position I do. Because I think if you're a teacher, no matter what you're a teacher of, a daycare, even in a nanny position at a school, if you're in a position in which you take care of an underage child, that is completely, I don't know if applaudable is a word, but I applaud to you. You are making a difference in someone's life. Your choices are going to affect them for the rest of their life. It is important. It does matter. There's so much I could say on teaching. I promote self-care. Take care of yourself. Refill your cup so you have something to pour from. And if you ever feel led to teach your children something, even if the concept is very big or tough to break down, you can find ways to usually do it in a kid-friendly way. You don't have to, if I had come at it from an angle, with bullying of, well, I just read this survey in the People magazine on bullying, and this percentage of people took their lives last month. Obviously, that would not be appropriate. Obviously. If you're concerned about how to address it, definitely do some research on it, or ask some people what their opinion is of it. I just know, being an adult, the effect that bullying has on children, on teenagers, and on adults. I know how harmful it is, how hurtful it is, how damaging emotionally, psychologically it can be. It isn't okay in any form, not online bullying, not in-person bullying. There's probably all different kinds of bullying today, that I'm not even thinking about. It's probably my bullying is nothing compared to what's in the school system today. But I remember being young, and I remember hitting absolute rock bottom and feeling like I was nothing because I wasn't accepted. I remember that. And if I could stop one of my children from doing that one day, and they can refer and reference and remember back to when they were kind and what the reaction it caused someone else to have, how happy they were, if that can be a memory in their mind that they carry in their heart to elementary school, then they may make a different choice when they see other friends or people around them being mean to others. They may decide to be that person that stands up for that kid that's being bullied because I made a choice to shift it right now. I would love to think that. I really would, and I believe that that is going to happen because I know my kids have really good hearts and good intentions. So I hope that this video helped some people, whether they have kids or they're a teacher, or maybe they're just wondering about the topic. I know there are people out there, children out there, that defend the innocents and check on them and love on them. And, you know, I know that to be true. I found that to be true at some point in my life when I met certain people that had my back, watched out for me. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that there are those children and that hopefully my children will become those children as well. Let's just keep passing it down and keep it in our heart how important it is and not wait until it's too late to address the issue. And I'm trying to think. If you have questions about it, if you would like to talk more about it, leave me questions down below. If you have questions about teaching or how I handle certain things, feel free to leave it down below. I read that, I consider that, I take it to heart. If I feel led to, I will make it a topic on my channel. I hope that this helps someone's child. Also too, what am I trying to say? I talked about in my classroom, proper ways to use your hands as well, just like I did bullying. I said, you know, these ways hurt people. They are not okay. Like hitting, slapping. So we did a whole session the other day on you know, appropriate touch versus inappropriate touch. Because again, they're 3. They're just exploring. They're just testing. They're not sure what is right and what is wrong all the time. And that's okay. They shouldn't. They're still babies in a lot of ways. So we're here to teach them and be role models and guide them. So it's always okay to teach what is, you know, proper, what is, you know, acceptable versus what could hurt someone and make them uncomfortable. So I'm going to end here. I'm going to go inside. That is so bright. But I just want to inspire you to talk to your children. Know what's going on in their classroom. Know what's happening to them. Make sure you're a safe place where they know that they can tell you if something is hurting them or someone is bothering them. Promote journaling, writing it out, ways of self-care to release it, because we all have anxiety and tension, and I'm sure like sports and yoga and certain types of exercises could really benefit some children to help them just work through all of that. I bet there's life coaches for children too. There's life coaches for adults. I know that. Excuse me, hold on real quick. Let me fix that. But anyway, my phone's about to die. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support, your love, your views. I got a lot of views in my last video too. I'm just like, y'all go ahead with watching these videos. I appreciate that. I do. I'm here to record my journey, to look back and go, she survived that. Like, be proud of myself and see growth in myself, I'm also here to help others and to discuss what I go through on a daily basis and to share my story in hopes that it will help someone else that's watching this, that's experiencing this, that's maybe suffering through this, so they know they're not alone. I don't ever want you to feel like you're walking alone. Not as a teacher, not as a woman coming out of a relationship, or a man. I mean, obviously, both women, men, all religions, all sexualities are welcome on my channel. You are not judged. You will not be bullied on my channel, and I will not tolerate it. Not in the comments. I had a comment from my last video. Goodbye. It did not support. It was not kind. Goodbye. That's it. We're here to help each other. That's all it is. But I'll talk to you next time. Take care of yourself. Stay safe out there. And remember to love each other. Be kind. And give somebody a compliment today. It really makes their day. Whether it's fast food, or you see, a teacher that just needs, or you see somebody that's just looking run down. You just tell. You just look at people. They're exhausted. The economy is hard right now. Find somebody at Walmart. Just walk by them. Just tell them you like their shirt. Tell them you think their hair color is pretty. You like their tattoos. Even if you don't, I still think it's okay to give compliments. Because I think sometimes you just see somebody and you go, they need that. Light them up. Alright, y'all. See you next time. Bye.